be in any dungeon spot. So level 1 could be in level 9 spot. We will still start with the wood sword as we are off and so most of our runners are going to go ahead, grab the sword and up an A. It's a little bit quicker. You save a couple of seconds, but in some of these matches we've seen, every second counts. Looks like all of our runners are kind of taking that 3 first route. Get you a quick dungeon right from start. Also a chance to potentially grab some bombs off these moblins if they cooperate. Now, the only real bad thing with these flags is the 3 first could take you straight into 9, but today it is level 4. Let's see, all of our runners dealing with that lovely Patra here. One of the things that is turned on is we do have our bosses that are able to be shuffled along with the enemy sets. The enemies that are supposed to be in dungeons will be in dungeons. They just may not be in the dungeons you're used to seeing them in. But a quick early Triforce in 4. So Kevin's going to take the lead here with that Triforce as Stun's found level 9 in Vanilla 1 spot. And Stun's going to take a death right before that Armos item. An unfortunate spot to take the death. Now, the way these flags work is there's a 60% chance that the Armos item is up there. Trail's going to grab his Triforce out of 4. 60% chance that Triforce, or not the Triforce, the item is up there at the Armos statue. The other 40% is it could be at any other Armos statue in the game. And Kevin here is going to do a quick little screen scroll at the forgotten spot that'll get him kind of over to that Armos item or location. And Trails is looking for a candle right now. It is one of our required items in this seed. You do have to have a candle to get into Vanilla 8's location. So we'll be looking for that. What Kevin just discovered is there's a staircase there. That means that the Armos item has been shuffled. He's going to go in here and check, and we'll be able to figure out which Armos statue. It's the shop, so that's going to be the blue ring shop on the by Vanilla 4 that's going to have our Armos item today. And Trails is headed to that screen right now. And Can't Find Bombs has now picked up his Triforce out of 4. So all of our runners getting that quick early Triforce as Stun is dealing with Patra as well. And Lord Banana himself appears as our Armos item. Early on, that's a great find. It'll allow our runners to stun some of the more annoying enemies, such as these gorillas, as they're in your way. It kind of gives you a little bit of help combating it. Also take out the 0 HP Keese. So just a little bit of efficiency.
I was gonna say you never want it early, or you never want it late, but you do want it early. That's a great find. And Kevin found a heart container in level 1, but while I was watching Trail's screen, I missed where level 1 was.
I did too.
Ooh,
That would be
ladder
one of our
block in 1,
early
though.
spots. That's always rude.
I think that was a choke point, and he can't get past it. Yeah, he's stuck in the tail of the eagle. Oh, did he get a second item? Did you hear that? Oh, do we have Kevin's audio? Yeah, we do. We have Kevin's audio. Oh, I think despite being ladder blocked out of 80% of level 1, he managed to get 2 of the items anyway.
Yeah, I didn't see which ones they were.
One heart container and then 1 non-heart container. Oh, somebody in chat, Stad, telling me it's bombs. Never mind, it was only 1 item.
Hey, bombs are helpful though. He's going to take his route over here to the coast, grab the heart container here, probably head up to Vanilla 2. And that would give you a chance, it would give you a guaranteed chance when you hit Monocle Rock of the white sword item. So I really like the routing that Kevin's doing here right now.
Yeah, I like taking the free overworld hearts as well. You know, with these non-shuffled overworld, you know where mags are, you know where the heart containers and potions are if you want them. You know where the big secrets are. I mean, yesterday we saw Scytown take a big secret on his way to level 7. For no other reason than it was just 133 silver arrows, and it made his combat faster.
Definitely, yeah. I did the same thing in that race. We do find level 6s in Vanilla 2 right now. We've got what could be an early push block here, so we'll see if this is the transport or our item, and as usual, it's just your transport.
Yeah. Never when an early item would help you. Alright. Still though, that gave him good coverage on level 6. He went from the top to the bottom, so he's got
it's information. So what it tells you is that you're not going to be blocked by a non-bomb wall headed through the tail. Now, you might be blocked by a ladder block or some other silliness, but you at least know that you can pretty much, if you see a wall, you can bomb through it in that tail section.
That's right, because we are guaranteed to have only 1 connector today. So anything else you see cannot be a hard wall. There must be a way around it. So yeah, you can count on a bomb wall opening, which is reassuring. Wow. How about not having to fight the enemies in this room?
Well, that solves a lot of problems for us right now. It's ladder in 6.
So wow. Early ladder makes things
early
easier.
Ladders. Yeah, it makes things easier. It makes for some interesting routing choices. When do you go check what the coast item is? I know last night in our race we had a bunch of runners just make a beeline after getting that ladder early. Or do you wait? Because in Heart Shuffle, it's a good chance that the ladder gets you a heart container.
Good chance. But you still hate to go digging for, raft, recorder, silvers, and they were sitting on the coast the whole time. So the earlier you know.
And I would guess.
Or it could even be a wand, and that could have helped you.
Yeah, definitely. Red ring.
Red ring?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I would imagine that Kevin will go, since we're at level 2, I would imagine that's our next stop after headed out, as Trails has found his ladder in 6 as well. We'll be grabbing that, and very happy to see that.
Oh, yeah. And chat pointing out, now Kevin has access to level 1. The only runner so far on stream to have seen level 1, which is a good point. He probably wants to go dig it because...
3 items, yeah. 1 and 8 in this type of flag set are 2 dungeons you want to find early and you want to get the items out of.
Absolutely. I already forget where the Triforce in 6 was. Was it beyond the connector, or was it near start?
I didn't see where Trails was when he picked it up, but we'll find it again here pretty quick.
Yeah. I thought Trails actually may have. Okay, so that answers my question because he's only explored the top half. So anybody who takes the connector Might have a longer 6 if they then try to go up the left column. You know. Oh,
Yeah,
here it
definitely.
was.
Yep, kind of in that middle section. Yeah. And our large. Oh, that is a low large secret. Now we did say everything's in its vanilla location, but shop prices and secret values are shuffled. So 53 is your large secret. That's not going to be a fun time if you're wanting to buy something.
Yeah, no. Candles can roll as high as
I want to say
78. I've seen
74.
74.
Oh, it's 78. Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
somewhere in the upper 7.
Yeah. So that's funny that a large secret does not guarantee you a candle. I mean, his 96 rupees will, but yeah, he probably picked up that large secret being like, I just want to be rich. Like, no. Oh, level 5 had level 8 in it. You just said that was one of the 2 dungeons you want to find.
As a runner, even though it's low hearts at this point, very willing to spend a little bit of time digging 8, just because the 3 items do exist. You still do know the layout, so you can kind of navigate it. And white sword on the floor,
Sword.
like,
wow,
just proving the point even more of how advantageous getting into this dungeon can be.
So yeah, so can't find bombs. 1 room in the 8, white sword. He's gonna have easier and faster combat now. So yeah. Wow. Also, Stun getting his ladder out of 6. It's good to see no racer leaving that ladder behind, because that could ruin your seed. You know, give you a lot more double dipping, waste a lot of time.
Yeah, and we already know with the shape and the way one's laid out and where that ladder block is, that ladder is going to be required.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the other thing that changes too, is if one of our runners here finds a recorder early, you might see them take a dungeon like 8, grab that first item, and go elsewhere, because I can do that. I can come back with the recorder if I get my Triforce. So there's no real penalty for dumping a dungeon early.
That's true, yeah. Double dipping is a lot easier and speaking of which, he doesn't have that recorder yet, but and our coast item's a heart container. Well,
I would say I'm surprised, but it's heart shuffle.
Yeah, it's about 50% odds. Woo! Taking advantage of the game's natural lag there to dodge those Lionel beams. Yeah, good job, Trails. Oh wow,
Nope.
Kevin doing the exact same thing at the exact same time.
Yeah, and Bomb's finding the wand is the white sword item, but he doesn't have the hearts to pull it out. Oh, that's one of those unfortunate locations.
Yeah.
Because with this flag set, you have to come back to level 8 more or less to warrant the trip up there. That wand is, yes, it's valuable. It'll give you with the double swing 4 hearts worth of damage versus the 2 of the white sword, but really hard to come up here and justify picking that wand up again.
Yeah, not by itself, no. If you get a recorder in another dungeon, and then recorder back to 8, that would help. It makes, like, I was about to say Trails picking up the overworld hearts as Kevin picks up another overworld heart, makes those plays look real good now, because they're going to get that wand. Absolutely. Of course, we're probably also going to get the white sword, too. Here comes Trails. He's going to pick it up. He'll be happy.
And the only way that our runners probably aren't going to get that, because most of them don't have any keys, is they're going to have to come into 8 and not have bomb.
Yeah.
And we can't find bombs in level 3 at level 9's vanilla spot. This is a location that runners don't check early, so I like seeing someone get up here and early. One, it's way out of the way to locate. Also, good news, bait not.
Bait probably not required.
I believe that bait's out of the way. It could be still in the way. I can't.
Can't find bombs. Oh no, it can't be because there's no door north. So that means bait won't do anything in the seed, because that was the left column of 3.
Yeah, that's right. So, good early knowledge that you don't have to buy that.
However, there was a ladder block of a single room. The location of the vanilla raft was ladder blocked, and can't find bombs is our only runner who hasn't seen level 6 yet. So he had to just leave it behind. Hopefully he still gets his other 2 items out of here and it doesn't turn into a problem. Otherwise, that'll be one of those double dips where your opponents just happen to do the dungeons in the right order.
Oh, definitely. And we're seeing here on cabin screen some interesting information. Um, Normally, there's a free candle in a lot of the race types that you'll see. Trails gets his Triforce out of 8. But navigating dark rooms is such a skill set that without the ladder, you kind of have to feel around to figure out what room you're in to fight the enemies. And, you may not see a candle for 45 minutes. You may buy your candle as you're walking into Vanilla 8 because I'm out of locations and I need to go to Vanilla 8 at this point.
Yeah, it's you're right about that. Dark rooms don't come into play in a lot of seeds, or a lot of flag sets, but this tournament, these flags, yeah, they definitely do. And even having the ladder, it makes combat easier. This game has a lot of water rooms in it. You don't normally think about it, maybe in vanilla, because you get the ladder, I would say halfway through the game, but relatively early in the speedrun. And the ladder makes combat easy because it gives just Link safe spots to stand, really.
And Stun getting the same information there about the wand, so we'll see if our runners decide they really want that or not.
Stun picked up his 4th heart container only a minute ago from Monocle Rock. He's been playing this whole time with no health. Looks like Can't Find Bombs is also pretty low on health, too.
Does look like we've seen a red candle, though, in 3. So that's good news. We won't necessarily need to buy a candle. And while we're mentioning that's thanks to our tracker, Fryteeth. Thank you very much for helping us out with this race today.
Thanks, Fryteeth. Yeah, I didn't see the red candle, but I guess, Mr. Bombs has it. So, I was going to say... Red candle 3. Oh, yeah, that red candle is also a boost to his offense, but he got his white sword. I don't know if he'll use it against anything except a Gibdo, or just to have more projectiles on the screen. Oh, no, I was going to say, the shoot room.
Oh!
Raft.
And that's a relatively vanilla item.
Right? So that's actually a big deal, because we know it's going to block a level. And this is in the Vanilla 9 spot, you said? Which most runners do. Yeah, so most runners do not think to go to Vanilla 9 because it's, oh, wow, and it had the Triforce.
Oh, that's wonderful. So Bombs is completely cleared 3. No need to come back up here. That's huge. Now the question is, we've seen level 9, so we a lot of the times if you find that raft and you've checked all the other dungeons, 9's on the raft spot. Mm-hmm. You're like, okay, I found it, but I'm not worried about it. It's not blocking anything I need.
Yeah.
Where here, that raft could be holding level 7.
It
and
could.
No one likes level 7.
And it could be holding even the recorder. When level 2 is under the lake, and it could go downhill. We have Pactors in level 8 too. I don't remember seeing. I thought Pactors were only in level 4 so far. That is a new change. The enemies aren't entirely shuffled between overworld and dungeons, but boss shuffle is on. Yeah. So.
That's always fun. You walk into a room like, oh, there's a bunch of blue Lamolas. Nope.
Yeah. Fred, I think, does make extra Pactras and Pactras outside of 9 less likely. But doesn't mean it can't happen. And it just did. Oh, yes. Oh, Can't Find Bombs. Gonna go buy a wooden arrow. Interesting. He doesn't have the bow yet, right?
At this point, though, I like that play. You got the red candle, which means you don't have to spend your money on a candle.
Yep.
You picked up that large secret. We'll call it a large secret. It's really, it's really a large medium secret.
It really is.
But it's one of those things where there's 4 types of shops in this game. You kind of know where they are, as we see an 82 bomb upgrade in level 8 as well. It's not a bad price.
Yeah,
we'll see if anyone picks that up. But the other piece there, and Kevin's not going to probably pick that up because he doesn't have a candle yet. So that's one of the things our runners are prioritizing, is they know they need the candle. Yes, bombs are required because bombs, but you're going to want to spend that money on that candle to get you into a dungeon that you can early access to.
Yes,
And
yeah, you're
Bombs is
absolutely right.
turning that raft in right now for a lot of information for us. Level 5.
5, okay. It's not 9, so anything that's not 9 is good. And finding something like a recorder or a bow in here would be even better. He doesn't have the ladder.
And that leaves us, though, with 7 and 2 at large, with 7's location and 8's location still being open.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, of course, we find the connector first, as it normally goes. I wonder why... Oh, he wanted to check a shutter door. I don't remember Mr. Bombs doing this. Poor Kevin. He's doing a good job with all of this blue dark not combat.
Yeah, that's
but it's not.
That's a mess of
necessary. Yeah. He's trying to go through a bomb wall in the dark, search for doors in the dark. Yeah.
And that's probably a shutter door at that. So
right.
That's all. Yeah. That's even worse because you're just walking into the wall, and the dark nuts are just walking into you.
Yeah. He needs to get to the top right corner of level 3. That's where the raft and the Triforce are.
He's still in level 8 at this point. So he's looking.
So
3 of our runners are in 8, digging out the items in here.
I'm sorry. So we actually don't know what this. We don't know all the items in 8, do we?
No, we just know the white sword was in that first room.
A red ring. Okay, so wow. I hope Kevin finds that for all of his troubles.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things is if you're gonna spend some time digging a dungeon, you find blue boomerang and yellow boomerang, you're kind of disappointed with everything at that point.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But you spend a little bit of time, get the red ring. Yes, you cost yourself some time, but at the same moment, being able to more or less face tank this, we find book is the other item here, and
I was really hoping that was the staircase with the red ring for him.
But so 8's that nice to have dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
All of it's nice to have, none of it's required. So, Bomb's making a good choice here to get out of 8 early. Yes, leave the red ring, but most of our runners in this tournament don't need red ring to finish.
No, you can take a potion. There's ways around it.
Or 4.
Yup. You can take a potion when you already have a potion. Don't do that. So this is interesting. Can't Find Bombs has now been about halfway through 5, and I haven't seen him find either the floor item or the staircase item. But he has walked around a number of ladder blocks. I'm afraid that even though he got that early... Oh, he does have to kill this pack train. He can advance. I'm afraid that
Patrick's kind of there.
Oh! I got some bad news.
Game is going to tell you go find the ladder, apparently.
Yeah, wow.
So Kevin is going to be rewarded with a ton of hearts with his wand, as Stun has found level 3, and if he's able to dig out that raft, will be in a very good position here right now.
Yeah, he will, because he'll have that ladder. He won't double dip 5. I like what Can't Find Bombs did, though. He got the raft, and he's like, I'm going to go cash it in. If I got the raft first, which he did, then if I find something else in here, it'll give me an even further advantage.
That's...
okay, there's one of our items.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like to see runners do. Like I was talking about with the ladder, go to the coast right away, cash that in, because if you have the lead, it's just furthering your lead. Where if you hold that item and go, I'll check it when I get around to it, it's giving your competition a chance to get behind, or get the items, get caught up. Where if you cash it in and you just keep pressing, it just gives you that much more time to make mistakes. Trails finds his book in 8, and that's going to be the end of the exploration for 8 for our runners for the day.
Yup. So Can't Find Bombs now. Looking at his map, I'm not sure what he's looking for. He only just entered this room. Okay.
Now the other concern...
this is going to be hard. He doesn't have a candle to
Yeah.
candle boost through those spike traps either.
Yeah, so the other thing that Bombs is going to run into trouble with is he left the 2 items in 8. So when he starts doing the math of where silvers could be, where bow could be, where, the recorder could be, he's going to have to... Oh, that's a nasty room.
Yeah.
He's
He
going to have to
almost
do
got
that
it,
math,
too.
though. He did, yeah. But you're going to have to do that math with not knowing what's in 8. We will know that that's not where he needs to go, but odds are that's probably the dungeon that you would dig first.
Absolutely. I know I would. So...
Well, I think Bombs was happy not to have had the ladder and seen that room.
Yeah.
Stun sees a whole pack of wizards and decides, I'm good.
That's true, Mr. Bombs. There were two rooms in 3 he avoided. One was that room, and the other one was, I don't know if you saw it, but a shoot room, a horizontal shoot room like you always find in level 3, with 5 blue wizrobes in it. And as soon as he entered from the side, one of them started shooting right away. And I'm like, that is horizontal shoot room. How do you even fight wizrobes in that? No way. So
you bring the red ring and a lot of bombs. That's how you fight that room.
Yeah, man. Wizrobes in a grid room is bad. A shoot room is unthinkable. Yeah. At least the vertical shoot room, you got 2 columns to move back and forth in. The horizontal shoot room, you've only got 1.
So our runners are kind of split up here. We've got Trails heading into 3. Stun in 3 has his ladder. Bombs in 5. And Kevin is in 1 now. We have not seen what's in here except for
well, that's the heart container and
ladder
that
block.
very Triforce. Yeah. So he's crossed the ladder block and he's in new territory. Sniped by a Gorilla.
No, this one's enemy set leaves something to be desired. Wizrobes and gorillas. Nothing like dying in every room you walk into.
Yeah, right? It looks like he didn't get the red ring, so... yeah. The gorillas are going to do a full heart, and the wizrobes are going to... The blue ones are going to do 2.
And Trails is fighting that shoot room that we were discussing. He does have the red ring, but that room is still disgusting, even with that.
Trails, I've got good news. You don't have to do it. I'm sure.
Bad news is you won't know that until you discover that.
Right. This is a chance where I would. He might have to spend his key to get there though.
And my deal is I would fall into that trap here because every time I've been in 3, that shoot room has had something of value. So I'm likely to go sit there and try to kill that wizard.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know how the randomizer shuffles rooms, but that horizontal shoot room is normally only found in Vanilla 3, and it seems like every 3 still has one, Yeah, I don't know how it works, but nonetheless, every time it appears, it should have a floor drop. It's like this Triforce room always has 1 free item in the center, It never doesn't have an item. It never has an item that enemies are required to kill for. It's always free. That horizontal shoot room, guaranteed combat every single time. Yeah, and given level...
Speaking of rooms that could have an item, Kevin's in 1.
Yeah, that's the boss room. So yeah, I think that's a guaranteed item drop as well if you kill the enemies. Ooh, lucky fairy.
It's the right decision here. Go down a room, clear it, and then if you want to go up and deal with that wizard mess, then you feel free.
Yeah. So far, all of these other rooms he's been in, they all look like rooms. Oh, that could have an item. Did you see that?
That's silvers.
Yeah, wow. Did you see that wizrobe spawn on it? And then I didn't see the silvers until the wizrobe moved. That was funny. So heart container and silvers on the floor. We're still looking for a staircase item. And that means that unless the wizrobes are guarding the Triforce, he's off the hook.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's be honest. They're probably guarding the... No, the Triforce we've seen. It was on the floor.
Oh, yeah, so he doesn't have to kill that room. That's great.
That room's not required, and everyone else is happy about that.
Very happy about that. So it looks like Trails got the raft and saw the Triforce, but wants to find the red candle. That'll be
now, Trails did purchase a blue candle before coming up here, so that will probably make him slightly disappointed. But again, it's another item off of your pool. Bombs is still suffering through this 5 without a ladder. Been through most of it though.
Yeah.
Like that's a pretty full map.
Every room except the one to the right, because he's been in the eye, which doesn't get marked on the map. So yeah, so if he key doors to the right, he'll have been in every room. Does anybody in chat know if he found a staircase item?
I assume that's what he's looking for because we saw the heart on the floor. Yeah, obviously killing a couple of these rooms to get the floor drops because keys and bombs are, wonderful to have.
Absolutely. Keys and bombs. So where? Yeah, he's just gonna go up one, right one. It's gotta be it, right? And then, of course, there was that ladder-blocked compass, which he didn't pick up. Well, it couldn't be ladder-blocked. It was a double motor.
Yeah,
And
there
sure
it
enough,
is. Right there with the Patra. Hi, Patra.
that Patra will one-shot him at his current power level.
Patra's
right
being
by.
Nice. And power bracelet.
So,
It's...
it's nice
yes,
for
it's
being places he's already been.
Well, it's a couple things. One, it's another item off of your pool that you have to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
2, it's a nice... I can up A anywhere on the overworld and get back to where I want to be relatively quickly. As Kevin's found the item here in 1 as well. Bomb's going to pick up his Triforce out of 5. Trails gets his Triforce out of 3. Just a heart container.
So 2 heart containers and a silvers. That's a 10 out of 10 level 1.
I had silvers.
One without silvers. It had silvers. Yep. Had silvers.
Also, Wizard Room not required.
Yes.
That's the bigger win. So Kevin's going to get his Triforce out of 1. We'll see where he decides to go next. He still has to do level 3 to get the raft. I don't believe he's seen a candle yet, so was not able to go into whatever is at Vanilla 8, which may be where Bombs is headed right now. He's going to get his Coast Heart container.
That has to be level 9?
No, level 9 is in Vanilla 1. We're looking for either 2 or 7 right now. Yeah, so the Recorder blocked dungeon and the Candle block dungeon we have not seen yet.
And we haven't seen that
one will be 2 and one will be 7. Yeah, Recorder somewhere. And it can't be in the dungeon under the Recorder spot. That's the only information we can give you. And it can't be in 9. Trail stumbling into 1 here will be happy to find his items, less happy to see the party of Wizrobes.
Stun is having a very quick level 5 here. Look how easy this room is with a ladder. Also, he got the compass, and he also just got the heart container as well. So he's got one of the 2 items and the compass.
And Bombs has given us the location of all of our dungeons now. Level 2 is that wonderful candle spot, which means level 7 is in its vanilla location, Recorder block. So will this be the 3rd or 4th qualifier where Recorder's hanging out in 2?
Right? Isn't Recorder always in 2?
That's what it feels like as of lately, but well, there's a little confirmation bias here as Bomb's going to grab the Triforce really early and then start exploring this too. Not a big dungeon, we'll be through pretty quickly, but yeah, the items just randomly appear under.
Yeah, I've had it happen to me, and I've seen it happen before to racers where you're standing in the middle of the room and you get Y-forced by the item. And if you're not paying attention to the sound effect, or if another sound effect plays and masks it, you maybe didn't know you picked up the any key, maybe didn't know you picked up the raft, something like that. And you're like, wait, and you dig the entire level for an item that's been in your pocket the whole time.
Yeah, more likely it's something like the banana. Because it's so small, or silvers, because if you don't have the bow, you'll just, if you've got select swap on, you'll run right over it and you go, what did I pick up?
Oh, yeah, because
then you finally press your start menu.
Yeah.
Yeah, you finally hit your start menu and you go, oh.
Oh, the best one was silvers. So if you have a room with spike traps, right, and the silvers are in the corner, the silvers will be under the spike traps, but silvers on top of a spike trap are hard to see because they're the same color and it's just a vertical line.
That's rude. That is
unless you trigger the spike trap, you don't see the silvers. Like, you could clear the room and be like, okay, I guess there was no item in here, and just keep going.
I don't think I've ever seen that, but now I'm horrified of that idea. As Trails is going to go ahead and fight this Aquaminus room. Can't find bombs. While I don't normally hate red Rizrobes, In rooms like that, they're quite annoying. Trails just gets a pack of bombs for that room.
So this room here, this triple bar room that Bombs is in, guaranteed no item. So he's gonna walk. Yeah, he's gonna walk right by it, or is he? Okay.
Well, the bigger problem is that blue wizrobe is being evil.
Yeah. He's got to safely walk right by it because he doesn't have that red ring. Gotta be. Oh, that's a very nice find in here. I think he was low on keys when he found that. So good. Oh.
And like usual, Uncle Wizzy shoots you in the back.
Yeah, I was gonna say also low on wizrobe shots apparently. Now he's stocked up on those. Ouch. So Stun, he entered 5 and went straight for the heart container, which also happened to be one room off of the second item. What was it? The power bracelet?
Power bracelet. Yeah. So the advantage for Stun here is definitely the ladder. It's making clearing this 5 so much easier.
Yeah, he almost had a really quick 5, just a couple minutes. Both items in the Triforce, because he entered, ladder clipped to get the compass, and then was one room away from the Triforce in the second item, but then went to go explore the bottom half instead. Yeah, he almost had just a 7-room 5. As compared to Can't Find Bombs is level 5. Ouch.
Yeah, ladder. Just a simple thing like that. Ladder just making such a difference. As Kevin has found his set of logs.
Good job, Kevin. I assume he'll get the Triforce out of the same room, too.
I would hope so. Wall Masters can be a thing.
Yeah. Don't assume there's no item. Oh, there's no enemies. I cleared it. We're good. No. This is why you check. Yeah.
I had one where I got clocked in the recorder room in 2.
Oh. And
didn't know that a Wall Master was in that room. Didn't know Wall Masters were in here yet. So I missed the Triforce for an hour.
Oh no.
So yeah,
Trails
definitely
doesn't have his ladder.
Oh no, he doesn't. I thought he picked that up. I was pretty sure.
Tracker's got him marked. He maybe did a retry and lost it. Oh wait, no, he does.
Oh, he's just firing at the room. I'm not sure what that was about.
Yeah. I'm like, just okay.
That works.
Yep. So Can't Find Bombs here. Halfway done level 2. Halfway to go. Lucky clock.
Yeah, level 2 is one of those levels where it's not big, but it can be annoying to navigate if you're low on bombs or keys. There's not a lot of ways to get around a block, so if you do get one, you're pretty hard blocked.
It's true. Every wall will bomb open, but it only takes one ladder block or one misplaced, old man room, maybe an unlikely shoot room appearing, and yeah, you're stuck.
Or, a whole bunch of blue wizrobes. Yeesh.
Yeah. I call that a combat block.
I call that a room of nope.
Yeah. Oh, recorder in 2! What did you just say? every seed. Why is recorder in 2?
That's the thing. All right. Well, so outside of Bombs needing to go get the ladder, we know where all the items except for the bow are that we need to go. So our runners just have to find that. It can't be a 9, so that's cut down our options drastically. But we do still have all 33 rooms of 7 to go explore.
I mean, I'm thinking so. We've seen everything. Did we leave one item behind in 6?
Yes, we left one item behind in 6. Show both items are still available in 4.
Alright, and then other than that, it's got to be that recorder block 7. Wow, so, It's not likely to be in 7, but it could be.
Oh, it's in 7. Just no one wants to go dig it out. It's in 7.
So, wow, so Can't Find Bombs. They're not fighting those wizrobes and didn't have to. Gets his recorder. Everybody else has got. I don't think he's done 6 yet.
No, he hasn't. He doesn't have his
even
ladder.
Single dip it. Right.
Yeah, he hasn't even touched 6. So this may actually work out really well for Bombs, as he is going to only need the silvers and Triforce out of 1.
Mm-hmm.
And if the bow is in 7, he will not have to double dip a single dungeon.
That's true. He did. Yeah, he did probably lose some time due to not having the ladder on his first dig, but he did avoid double dips. You know, that is a thing. And and without the recorder, those double dips are more annoying on the overworld travel. So
yeah, they're just that much more time consuming. As Kevin's going to grab himself a ferry here before going after the rest of this 5. Sun's going to get some extra hearts. Only on, what is that, 6 hearts now?
Yeah, 6
grief.
hearts.
That's not a lot of fun with some of these rooms we've seen.
No red ring either. He's got the Triforce in 8, so he's probably not going back for it anytime soon. Wow.
Yeah, the only thing that might send him back would be if we find out that Bo is in 4 but somewhere in 7 and someone misses it, floor item or something.
Oh yeah, that'd be rough. The good thing I can say about the silvers is, it might be tempting to gamble that silvers are at 9. But given that their location was pretty easy in level 1, nobody.
And you clear 1. You don't gamble 1 ever.
No, never. So he nobody will have that problem today.
Even if it's the last item, you got 2 items in 9 and 1 in 1. You go pick the 1 up in 1 before you go to 9. There's no reason not.
Yeah, it's a time trade-off. Getting that 1 item in 1 will take you no amount of time compared to checking 14 staircases. So Kevin getting his second item in 5. Still being several items away from go mode. He needs a bow and he needs a recorder, and he's wondering how many more spots he's going to have to check. Wow, trails at the same time. Side-by-side power bracelet checks.
And the Bombs gets his Triforce out of 6. I did not see if he picked up the ladder. He's going to give us a pause. He did not. Ooh, that is going to be a huge decision.
He's going back. Good.
You have to. You're missing the bow. You've got to dig this item out. You might be considering going and finding 1, but he would be very disappointed with that result.
Actually, did he find 1? I think he got ladder blocked out of 1.
Yeah, I believe. Bombs went up to. Where was 1? 1 was in Vanilla 6. I'm not actually sure if he's seen 1 yet. To be honest.
I mean, we saw one person. I already forget who it was. Trail's taking the potion. Solid play with that many hearts in the red ring. The potion is going to give you more life than the heart container will. Yeah,
definitely. Mags is probably out of the question. It's 10 to 14, but odds are it's 14. Yep. But Trails is going into 9, so I don't think he's going to get very far in here. I think he's just now found out that level 9. It happens. You're like, okay, I've got everything. Whoops, I need Triforce.
I could see you just maybe forgetting. There we go. Good job.
Bombs has got his ladder. That will prevent the face palm that we'll be seeing here as he got to level 1. Now the question here is, does he go dig 7 first?
I mean, level 1 has. What if level 1 has your bow? Because you gotta look at this from Can't Find Bomb's point of view. If level 1 has his bow, then he needs only a Triforce out of 7, and his 7 will be so much faster.
Well, in his case, if level 1 has the bow,
and silvers, because he
doesn't. We know it has silvers, but he doesn't have silvers either. So he's got to be thinking, what choice can I do here? And he has gone to Vanilla 5, so he's going back into 8. He's going back into 8 for the other items, which I don't disagree with this play, except for you have level 1 on the table still, and you haven't been inside it.
Yeah, and also he hasn't been inside level 7 either. You know, there's that recorder thing. For all he knows, Bo is one room inside level 7, just like...
Well, it's not in
there's
the
a level
staircase
4
in level
answer.
4.
So more for Bo being in 7. But what I was going to say was, you know, just because the item's in 7 doesn't mean it's torture, you know. That white sword was one room inside level 8. The bow could be one room inside level 7. And if you haven't seen a dungeon yet, I might be more inclined to do that.
If I have the recorder, definitely.
Yeah.
8 is kind of up and out of the way, and he might be thinking, oh, I'll go up to 8. I'll go ahead and grab my wand. It'll just help out. And if I get lucky and the second item was bow, oh well, I missed it, but I'm okay.
But I would still do, you know.
But yeah, no, I completely agree. Yeah. I always like to dig dungeons that I don't have the Triforce out of first if I have the record. Yeah. Worst case, I find the Triforce and go, this dungeon's horrible. I'll be back in a moment after I go check the other dungeon.
Yeah. So, did anybody go all the way down to the tail of the snake in level 4? Or no, Trails looks like he's turning around. Looks like that could have been a costly detour if nobody else did that, if it wasn't required.
Yeah, I never saw what the floor item was in 4. I know we just saw the staircase item is the blue boomerang, but I don't know that we saw what bombs picked up out of 4.
Kevin now, you know, Trails and Kevin have been right next. Oh, wait. There's
your answer. The bow. The bow is on the floor in 4.
Oh my goodness, who left that behind? Everybody? No way.
Yeah. What? That's what it looks like. Or we missed it on Bomb's stream, but we'll have to take a look.
So here's a case. He goes back to dip 4, not 1 or 7, and he goes back to dip 8, but 4 was the answer. Oh, I can't even. Wow, that's a turn of events right there. So now Trails, I think he's got everything he needs. Yeah. He's just got to do...
They've got to get into 2 and get the recorder. Both Trails and Kevin are going to have to dig that recorder out of 2, but it wasn't the worst thing to dig out of. But just digging the Triforce out of 7 is much better than digging 2 items and a Triforce out of 7.
Yeah, I mean, so this means that if you do things correctly, you only need a Triforce out of 7. Okay, Bomb's getting his red ring.
I mean, again, not the worst thing for Bombs to find here. Unfortunately, he needs to go find his bow in 4.
And then still he has to do 1. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's an upgrade. You know, you're disappointed that it's not what you need to finish the seed, but you're like, I'll take this. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. The
unlike the book, which may get burned.
Right. Yeah. The red ring and the any key, the very overpowered helpful items. Trail's using a potion here in level 2. That's a mob. He is clearing this room. Interesting. Wow, very fast. Good job, Trails. Bombs, just tanking damage.
Yeah, okay. Red ring, white sword, bombs, pack of blue wizards. It's not the worst fight ever. It's annoying, but it's at least manageable.
Take away that red ring, though, and even all the others, even all the other factors. It's just then that becomes harder right away. You're like, you know, even with the potion, the white sword, and the bombs, green tunic still makes that hard. And there's his second item, so he will turn. No,
he hasn't seen the recorder
was in the
yet.
Tip of the moon.
Yeah, he hasn't seen the recorder yet.
Yeah,
but any key makes you happy here.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 3 of our runners in 2. Bombs is looking for the second item in 8, or the third item here in 8, which we do know is the book, unfortunately for him.
Yeah. It will be in a staircase, so he doesn't have to, unless he thinks it's behind the shutter door. Well, it might be.
Yeah, that is the nice thing, though. Like, if and that's the other thing is, if I'm looking for a dungeon like this, if my choice was a dungeon that has a floor drop like 8 versus a dungeon that has a staircase item that I'm looking for, I'm going to the staircase first.
Absolutely.
I would much rather not suffer, and we're gonna get a bomb upgrade. 12. That is a good spending of money, especially having arrows, having bow, 2 rupees to fight this Goma, but
don't miss. He missed.
Oh, and Goma bops him as
that Goma wasn't required. You're safe. But yeah, that is funny. Spent all his money on a bomb upgrade and then had to go fight a Goma. There's your arrow.
Got his Triforce out of 2. I believe he got the recorder. So if Charles has the bow, which he does, he is our first runner in Triforce and Go mode and just needs the Triforce out of 7.
It is much more fun to play level 7 when you know you don't need to dig it.
Until level 7 decides to make you do all 33 rooms anyway.
Yeah, the compass can always be in the 22nd room, and then it can always point to some place you can't reach.
It's level 7. It'll find a way to make you miserable.
So,
and Bombs is going to purchase his bombs as well. At this point, money's not a problem. Well, it's a problem for Kevin, because he's at least going to need 1 more rupee to finish this seed, potentially more if we find Goma hanging out in 7 as well. But having these bomb upgrades will help you. 9 tends to be very bomb wall happy. Plus combat, just being able to bomb enemies and get them out of your way.
Yeah. Whiz robes and dark nuts especially. I mean, even likes, although I don't usually use bombs on likes.
Yeah, I'll bomb a like if I'm in a bad room or if I'm at low HP. Mostly trying to get the other ones not to eat me.
So I believe saving those bombs for later. Good call. Or now.
Yeah, bomb all the walls, then pick it up before you go through the room. That makes a lot of sense there. As we're getting our first look here inside 7.
None of those bomb walls opened. Yikes.
And can't find bombs, finds his book, learns that what he wants is not in here, and go try another dungeon.
So here it looks like Trails wants to know if this shoot room has a drop that he cares about. Okay, he bailed. Yes, exactly. Items can be where boss hearts would normally drop. And, of course, the boss hearts themselves are shuffled. So any enemy in the dungeon could drop the boss heart. So this room full of Gibdos here in level 7 could have the boss heart,
No, I still think bombs should go find level 1.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
And level 7. This, we know, is the right play. There's his bow, laying there on the floor. He's still going to have to probably, since I assume you've got a quick Triforce and just got out of 4 at this point, still going to have to either dig the staircase item out of here to confirm that, or decide to gamble and go to 1 and see where his...
Which would have been correct anyway. Yeah, I mean, he should have gone the 1 first, but still okay. Yeah, he is. He's going to dig this other item out of 4. What was it? A candle?
A blue boomerang.
Blue boomerang.
Trails has found the Triforce in 7, and will be our first runner on stream headed into 9.
Nice.
So just at 54 minutes, not a bad time for the seed. You really had to get the order right for the seed to fall in line for.
Yeah, you that early ladder ended up saving you in a ladder blocked 1, and
5. It saved a ton of time in 5 if you did it right.
Right, which Campfire Bombs is unfortunately on the wrong side of. Yeah.
But the one thing, though, is level 9 is called the Great Equalizer for a reason. It is a brutal game of hide and seek and make. So Trails is going to try to screen scroll over there and try to give us our first look inside and see what horrors await for us inside 9. As Bombs got it. Oh, he needed his Triforce out of 4. So he's got that now. So, okay, that's the right decision then. Bomb's absolutely making the right call.
Oh, yeah, I thought he already had it, so never mind.
I did as well. So, yeah, absolutely the right call. Stun is going to find his red ring. I believe he already saw the book, so that's going to be the end of his time at 8, if I remember correctly.
Now, somebody in chat was saying it looked like he lost progress in maybe an emulator crash or something, but he got rolled back to an earlier save.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
I think he already knew exactly where that red ring was. Because, he's
just having to go back and collect those items. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your tracker wouldn't get rolled back. You just have to go dig those items back out. So we have Trails in 9. Gavin's got his recorder. He'll be headed to 7. Stun is kind of making a retrace of stuff to get caught back up. And Bombs is looking for what's going to be the blue boomerang right now. So normally, like we've had noted by one of our wonderful friends of the Z1R community, Rick, that we don't have Trails audio available. Normally we'd be listening to see where Ganon is. And we'd be looking for a shutter door that doesn't open that would tell us where Zelda is. But we'll just have to wait and see what we find. And yeah, the enemy set in 9 is just not a lot of fun.
I'm gonna say it's the Goria Wizrobe set. The set we were dreading in the other levels. Of course, the
Wall Master for the win.
MVP Wallmaster. Got him. I always laugh, with the runners, not at the runners. It's funny.
It's funny until it happens to you, and then you throw your controller across the room.
It's the worst enemy. It does infinite damage because it sends you back to the same screen that dying sends you to. It's like, what happened? And it's always funny too when you have a room full of Wizrobes and Gorias, and you're worried about projectiles. You're trying not to die, and so you've got your eye on 2 or 3 different enemies, and you get your back up against a wall, and then the wall attacks you. And you're like, what? Or you don't even know that they're in the room because you're so busy paying attention to them. You walk right up there and you're like, oh, okay. Wallmaster.
Then you're quickly looking at your map going, okay, how do I get back to that room?
Right. Oh, we have a Zelda check here, I bet. Is this Zelda? It is not.
Oh, and Bombs discovers the blue boomerang and is out of 4. So we'll see if he decides to take 7 or 1. Right choice is 1 for multiple reasons, but 1, it's smaller.
Yes.
But 7 is just right here. So either decision's not horrible. It's just you're looking for 2 items in 7 versus looking for 3 items in 1.
Well, 2 items because he got 1 heart container. But yeah.
Oh, fair enough. He's able to walk into 1.
Oh no, he is gonna just. See, I would hate to see him dig 7 because he'll be here, forever.
Yeah.
Compass. Zelda is right
huge.
there. Oh, so we know where Zelda is.
I believe Trails has a route. And Bombs just stuck his head into 7 and decided. Oh,
Zelda again! Wow.
Oh wow.
Okay.
That's amazing. So we'll get a decent pick right here. I believe Trail still has the potion he picked up earlier. White sword, red ring. This fight is relatively free at this point.
Yeah, he's walking around.
And he's got the stun lock. We've got Bacon. Gavin's got his Triforce out of 7. He will be our second featured runner to get in here and go find Ganon. So Trails is going to hop down this room, and with that, ladder required for Zelda. With that, Trails is going to actually finish in 3rd place with a time of 59:30. So while we're seeing if Trails would like to hop in here and talk about it, we'll cover Slidic finished in 1st place, 55:14, and Phoenix Ignition finished in 2nd place with 55:40. So really good times for this crew here. So for how one direction this seed forced you to go, really good times.
Yes, indeed. Are we gonna get Trails in for an interview? Maybe, I don't know if he's available. Oh.
And with that, there's Trails.
All right,
GG there, Trails. Good.
Thank you. What's up, dudes? How you guys doing?
Doing
well. That was quite the seed. What are your thoughts on it? Kind of walk us through the unfolding of that mess.
I don't know. I feel like 1 was a good play. Going straight to level 6 was probably a good play. And I mentioned that in the race. Yeah. There was a free red candle on the ground, a bunch of keys. I feel like if you went around to the left side, you would have routed it much better. But I feel like I did the best I could with what I had. I don't know. I'm fairly new at the game, so.
You did a wonderful job with this. Yeah, routing 6, getting the ladder early, made 5 much easier to navigate. I think we added up. It was like a 10-room 5 if you went the correct direction. You get both items and the Triforce.
Not to mention being able to get that compass at the very start with a ladder clip. We saw Can't Find Bombs. He got the raft in 3 first, but didn't get the ladder in 6. And as a result, when he went to level 5, he actually found multiple ladder blocks in 5, but then found multiple ways around them. But it was actually just all a giant waste of time. So yeah, you were much better off for having that early ladder, for sure.
Yeah, I felt really good after I found that ladder. I was like, wow, awesome.
Yeah, there were a couple of combat blocks too, where the ladder you were able to just get on an island and take care of some vicious dark nuts.
By the way, Can't Find Bombs. Trying to pick up mags at 10 didn't work.
Oh, I was the first to finish on stream. Wow.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, 3rd overall, 1st on stream. Really good performance. How'd you feel about the Wallmaster there? The seed kind of gave you a little bit of a pat on the back at the end.
He gave me a hand to the front door. I was going the wrong.
You're right, actually, because right after you got Wallmastered, it felt like not even a minute, and I said, oh, we found the compass. Oh, we found Ganon. Here we are, right? So, yeah, actually, that Wallmaster may have done you a favor.
Yeah, you put me in back in the beginning of level 9, and I went.
Stunned on the compass in 7 here. Still missing the bow at Silver's and Recorder, at least according to our information. We'll have to see if we can get some update on. Oh, yeah, it's gotta have the Recorder. Yeah, we'll have to get an update to see what was lost during that moment. As Bombs is finally in 1, this is the correct spot to be at this point.
He's gonna get his Silvers. He seemed really hesitant to go back, and he did get the ladder late. He went to 1 first, saw that it was ladder blocked. Probably the only runner to get to level 1 without the ladder.
Yeah, I believe so. Because Trails, you fooled us in 1. You saw the Triforce and you started shooting the wand and just standing on the other side of the triangle. We thought for some reason you had either not picked up the ladder when you saw it, or we had seen you see the ladder.
Oh no, I got the ladder. I think very first thing within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I just saw you using the wand on the side of the water, like, and it fooled me into thinking you were ladder blocked. I'm like, how? But yeah, so but yeah, no.
Kevin just did find the compass, so he's gonna go up 1 room here, hear Ganon, and we're gonna have our second Ganon fight.
Here it comes.
I think I did okay with Ganon.
Yeah, you did really good. Kevin's going to have a little bit difficult of a time here. Well, he's going to go ahead and use the potion.
No red ring.
White
so
sword, no red ring. Yeah, a little bit more dangerous, but he's got half that potion to help.
Oh, nice stun lock. Very nice. Oh, dropped the very last hit, I think. Gotta be careful. Yeah, Ganon hugs are 4 hearts. So there we go. Got him in a wall. It'll work. Or will it? Will that drop the Triforce in the wall?
I should be able to pick it up.
Right? I want to see how this plays out. Okay, he can still pick it up. Good. Alright. I'm like, please don't drop the Triforce in a wall. But yeah, Ganon does kind of drop the Triforce in his top left corner, so yeah. GG Kevin. Alright.
Yeah, so with that, Buzz Thunder did finish in between here with the time of 1 hour, 1 minute, 3 seconds. For 4th place, Kevin's going to finish in 5th place with 1 hour, 5 minutes, 13 seconds. Really good job by these runners today. And as noted in chat, our next qualifier is going to be tomorrow at 10 p.m. on Randomania, twitch.tv/Randomania. And then Speed Gaming will be holding the Saturday qualifier at 11 p.m. on Speed Gaming 2. So if you want to mark those down on your calendar so that you can catch all the Z1R action.
I'm looking forward to it. I know I'm going to watch. Maybe play, probably watch. There's always a good set of featured runners, and the flags are very exciting, so why wouldn't I be there?
Oh, definitely. It's a lot of fun. And a couple other programming notes. We do have the Speed Gaming Live event going on that will be held. We've got qualifiers and such running. Prize pools, all sorts of fun there, as Bombs is still looking for his silvers in 1. And finally, if you want to join any of the Z1R action on Sundays, we do a weekly race that's hosted here on Speed Gaming, where all sorts of runners of all skill levels come in and we race, and we just continue to learn and develop the community. But with that, we have Kevin in here, and see if we can get some information on how that seed went for him.
Welcome, Kevin.
Oh, push to talk still on 1 sec.
All right, and Camp High Bombs does have his Triforce out of 1. I did not see if he got the silvers. Sun is going to be in level 1 as well, kind of getting the silvers out of here as well.
Okay, hi. You can hear me?
Hi, Kevin. Yes, we can.
Welcome.
I have never gotten that unlucky and gotten every single routing choice wrong before in my life. That was the most disgusting seed I've ever played, the worst I've ever played. I should have finished a good 20 minutes earlier, but everything fell apart. And I'm so mad. This was my seed to win, or at least get a good time in. And now everything's fallen apart.
It was definitely a right order seed that you kind of had to make the right choices on.
You didn't get that early ladder, did you, Kevin? Right? We saw. I think it was Can't Find Bombs and Trails. No, Can't Find Bombs was also Team No Ladder.
I got ladder pretty early. Okay, what I did. Okay, here's what I did. So I went to 4, got the Triforce, saw that I can't really do anything more, and I was like, okay, Triforce is good. I saved and quit. I went to 9, then went around to Death Mountain. I knew that the candle was under the in the rare shop, but of course I had no money, so I couldn't buy it. I went to 1, and then in 1, ladder blocked, and I was like, okay, great. This is just everything is bad. And after that, I went to 6. I got the heart container from the coast. I got from the Take Any. I got the 6. Got the ladder. Got the Triforce. Or wait, did I? Yeah, I got both items and the Triforce from 6 pretty quickly. Saw the coast item was useless. And then I went to 8. And 8 is where I just lost. I lost like 10 or 15 minutes in 8.
Yeah, everyone did pretty much. 8 8 was one of those nice to have dungeons, but it was a chore to clear through.
Was the red ring in 8?
Yes,
It was.
Of
I was
course.
about to say that. I think Trails was the only runner who left the red ring behind, but then didn't go back for it. Can't Find Bombs also looked like he was going to, I'm going to say correctly, ignore 8, but then he inexplicably went back and dug it.
Well, he had
before
2
digging
items.
one.
He had 2 items left, so it was a good
Yeah,
call to
I mean,
dig
he
it.
dug it before both 4 and 1, which is why I say that, but...
Yeah, I mean that would be my only routing difference, but at the same time, you never want to leave 2 items on the floor anyway.
No, certainly not.
Yeah, the only reason I wanted to dig 8, but the reason it just caused me so much trouble is just I couldn't see because of course everything
Dark
was
rooms.
dark. So many
Yeah,
dark
there was a
rooms.
lot of dark rooms in that
If
8.
you do rewatch
It's ironic.
this race, we comment on that.
Yeah, we were having a conversation about changing the palettes literally like minutes before this race started, and then every single dungeon that had dark rooms pretty much was just a bad palette. You couldn't
Dark
see
anyway.
anything. Yeah, and then
Stun's got silvers and Triforce out of 1, so he'll be heading off to clean up what's left here on the overworld. As Bombs is now looking for his Triforce and 7 to get into 9.
Did you get locked in that? Did you get locked in the shoot room in 3 with all the blue whiz?
no, I went to it from the top, and I was like, okay, not gonna go here.
I got-
three
I
was
got-
relatively painless, but one was pretty bad. For some reason I had no bombs after coming out of 8, so I couldn't buy the candle on the way to 1, and I didn't get bomb drops for a long time. I just got unlucky with that, and everything fell apart. And then 2, after I got the any key, I up A'd, and seconds after I up A'd, I was screaming at myself, why did I up A? There's a second item in here. And it ended up costing me so much looking for that second item, because whiz ropes are everywhere. I kept missing my shots in Goma, and I just had no health. And I lost a good 5-10 minutes in that dungeon.
Yeah, we saw you buy the bomb upgrade and then immediately run into the Goma with 2 arrows, and it was like, well, hopefully, and the Goma hit you right as you shot, and you lost both your arrows.
Yeah, I was thinking, okay, bomb upgrade, what are the odds that, I was thinking, okay, I've got money, I only need money for arrows on Ganon, and then just immediately the game said, no, you're wrong, and this is why, and...
Well, the Goma ended up not being required anyway.
Yeah, I know, but it was still, I thought it might be required, and just every room being blue reserves, it was just, which room had the flute? And at that point, people had already been finishing, and I was ridiculously tilted. At 40 minutes in, I was tilted, because I had only been in 4 dungeons, just because 4 had destroyed me for so long. 8 had destroyed me, and 1, for some reason, took way longer than it had any right to. So it was just a combination of really bad luck, and just, I was tilted, and everything just, it was some of the worst performance I've ever had. It's depressing.
Well, GG. I got locked in that blue wizzy room. Thank goodness it wasn't an important item.
Yeah,
That would've been
Triforce
interesting
and
had it
Raft in the
been.
same room. Yeah, it's kind of funny how that works with the item and the Triforce together like that. Some people
Bombs
had
is
a
now in
relatively-
9. We'll see
some
if
people
he's
had a
able
relatively
to...
fast 3. You
Go ahead,
first.
sorry. I was going to say, Bombs is in 9. We'll see if he has the same luck as everyone else of finding Compass, Ganon, and Zelda all in 4 rooms.
Right? If
Well-
I remember, it was top middle, so you had to go a little bit over. Yeah.
Maybe he'll get a hand to the front door like I did.
Right?
Well, thanks for the commentary. I'll be off.
Alright.
Well, geez,
Have a
Kevin.
good day, Kevin, and good luck in the rest of
yeah.
the tournament.
Ugh, I'll need it.
So, Stun here is, I don't want to take any focus away from Can't Find Bombs at 9, but Stun looks like he's going... Oh, he's got 3 completely done? Did you see that? He had a full map of 3.
He does have a full map of 3. I think, I'm not sure if he's got to go back to the raft room, which was, I believe, in the far right of 3.
Yeah, the top right corner. Yeah. So, Oh, Can't Find Bombs is gambling on staircases. This isn't bad. Sometimes
No, I
it
mean
works. Yeah.
and you never know. It may dump you right where you need to be. Still, there may still be a staircase that just takes care of this for him.
Yep. There's
So it's not a horrible.
Yeah, this is that room we were just talking about in 3. Fortunately not required, but man, can you imagine if it was? I think that's actually the maximum 8, isn't it?
That is a whole nope of Wizrobes. That is a complete and total full nope.
So Stun, he must have the raft, right? What dungeon was raft blocked? 5?
It was 5. Now remember, we do think that we lost some progress there, so I'm not sure how much progress has been lost. But that room is
does he not
completely
know
special.
That the Triforce could be in the raft room?
That may be it.
Because he doesn't have the compass.
Because that is one of the newer features to this randomizer, if I remember correctly, that Triforce being able to drop in item staircase rooms.
Oh no. Yeah, he's probably wondering why he hasn't found a compass, because he does, even on his current save file, he has the full map.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, if you're going to fight that wizard room, this is the preferred section to fight it in.
Absolutely.
It's still not great.
Oh my goodness, look at him get pushed
There's
around.
so many beams.
There's 8 Wizrobes! Oh, he gets a lucky fairy! Good! Please win this.
Not looking so good.
There's your compass!
It was the compass, so...
He got another.
That'll help, though. He's gonna go get it.
That will solve the problem.
And it's not 4 rooms away. It's exactly 4 rooms away, so they won't respawn. As long as he doesn't die here. If he dies here, maybe the blue Wizrobes respawn? I don't know. So don't die to these red Wizrobes, and you can get your compass.
Now, I always find red Wizrobes relatively easy to fight, but I also, in a situation like this where I'm like, I need to kill this room and not die, I panic and...
Yeah, right. Oh, nice bomb bonus there.
Oh, and Bombs does have the compass. He's got the room for Ganon, so we're gonna have a Ganon fight right now.
Here's Ganon. Oh, looks like I was wrong about the location of the raft. I thought it was in the tip of the arm. Guess not.
Red ring, white sword, tons of hearts. Bombs should have a relatively easy time here, and Zelda just being one room.
Getting a little early there with the silvers.
You're excited to see Ganon at this point. You're just like, let it end. As Stun's going to grab the Triforce out of 3. And we'll see if we can get an update on what we're missing there. So, Bombs has got Ganon. He's going to head down, and he will be our 6th place finisher.
So Stun needed 1 more Triforce piece, which I assume is 4, even though he has the bow. He definitely... Yeah, Stun is in go mode, so... And it was Triforce number 4 he was missing, so... GG can't find Bombs.
We'll see if we can get Bombs in here for a quick chat. Again, give all these runners a follow. They put on a great show today. Really good to see some of these new runners in here that we haven't seen in prior tournaments. It's great to have the community growing.
Absolutely. Yeah, these flags were designed to be completable in a short amount of time and with minimal knowledge. And
we won't say
it's obviously too late to enter the tournament. I can't encourage anybody to join, but we have battle royales. We have the weekly race you mentioned just 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, there's millions of ways to play this game, but
casual
also
races going on all the time. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Especially with the tournament right now, everyone's racing these flags. They are relatively easy to learn, relatively hard to master. But with that, we do have Bombs in here.
Welcome, Bombs. GG.
Thanks. GG Trails. Looks like you're in here. GG everybody in this thing.
Hey, GG CFB.
So, we can kind of summarize what happened for you, or you can kind of tell us your thoughts on the ladder.
The ladder. I'm trying to even remember that far back. I was a little distracted during this race, to be perfectly honest.
That's understandable.
The ladder was in level 6. I went over there fairly late, but I think once I was in there, I wasn't having a lot of trouble blowing everything up.
Oh no,
Yes.
it's just everybody else. We can tell you this now that the race is over. Everybody else seemed to find that ladder earlier. Some people even got it as their first item, and it made other dungeons faster. You know, they were able to dig one earlier because one was obviously ladder blocked. They had a faster 5. You had a real maze. You had a level 9 of a level 5 where you found a ladder block, but then found a way around it, and you ended up exploring many more rooms in 5. Whereas some of your competitors who had that ladder just flew through it.
Yeah, and there was nothing.
That compass by the door you couldn't pick up. You know.
Yeah.
Everybody else had that, so it's unfortunate in that.
Yeah. I think 5 was my biggest problem because I spent a long time in there. I didn't really find anything worth it.
No, power bracelet and a heart container. So no. You were ahead in other ways though. You were the first person to get the raft. I think also the first person to get the recorder.
Yes.
First person to get into 5. But then that lack of ladder slowed you down, and then you ended up basically full clearing the game. It looked like Bo was in 4. And you had the means to dig 1 and 7, but you dug 8 and 5.
Yeah, so that was going to be my kind of next question here is, kind of what sent you back to 8? You had 1 left on the table. You had 7 left on the table. 7, you can say it's 7. I didn't want to dig it, but you had 4 and 1 left on the table as well for items. So what sent you back into 8?
So what happened was I had mismarked my tracker. I couldn't remember whether I had the Triforce in 8 or not. And I figured I was probably going to end up clearing it either way. And also I had my planned routing was to go check the Vanilla 1 spot and then go check Vanilla 6 and then go check the Armos, but I died on the way over there. And I knew I was not going to be able to do anything useful in 4, so I changed my routing a bit and I went over towards 9, and then I went to, when I was on my way to check the Armos, I found that the Forgotten spot had both the arrows and the candle for sale. So I decided I was going to go clear out the northeast, get the 100 secret up there, and then I'm trying to remember what I did next. I went into 8, found I couldn't do a whole lot useful.
You got the white sword in that.
I got the
room and your key blocked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got the white sword in 8 and then left. And then I went over to 3 and found a lot of good stuff there. So that sort of early broke the seed open for me. I wasn't sure about the ladder because there weren't a lot of ladder blocks that I couldn't get around.
The big one you didn't see was level 1. So I think you came to 1 with the ladder at kind of towards the end. I don't remember if you went in early to it, but when you finally got over there, you could get like 2 or 3 rooms in, and then you were just completely halted.
Yeah, 1 was the last dungeon I actually went into, and when I went in there, I was glad because I realized if I had gone there early, I would have been ladder blocked. I would have been everything blocked in 1, and by the time I was in there, I was basically in go mode, except that I was still hunting for the silver. And I hit 1 before I hit 7 because.
I mean, that one you can.
Yeah, that's a good decision. Yeah.
That one everyone's
easily a good decision.
It was a long walk, but it was a no-brainer.
Oh, absolutely.
And then how about that 9 at the end? I was like, I knew I got the compass, so I knew where Zelda was, and then I was right next. I was like, wait, is that Ganondorf? Does that happen in Randomizer? That was weird.
It can and does
second time this
sometimes.
week, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ganon guarding Zelda personally, just like Vanilla.
Stuns, you're taking the more scenic route.
It almost worked just as good. So it looks like anybody who gambled on a staircase maybe won in this level 9. Stun is doing the traditional thing of not taking stairs, preferring to take doors. can't say one is right or wrong because
Yeah, it
Ganon could
depends
be
on the
anywhere.
day.
Yeah. It
One
depends on the
day,
day.
yeah.
Depends how much of 9 you've explored. You know, after you've been in 9 for a couple minutes and you've explored half of it, whichever strategy you weren't doing, do the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and it depends. You know, if you're looking for silvers, yeah, you're taking staircases.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's kind of a different catch there when you start putting the item on the table. But yeah, I personally like to explore without taking staircases as much as possible. Get as much
Same.
room coverage as you can to see if you can hear and just deduce where he is. And then if I need a staircase, then I'm going to start looking for it.
Yeah, I think by doing not staircases, you find you're listening for Ganon and you're looking for shutter doors and marking those on your map.
Well, I also the other thing I found is tracking 9 is much easier when you're not taking staircases. I tend to miss mark 9
Good point.
when I do that, so it's much easier to just click the next room that I'm going into than figure out where in 9 I am.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you have to do that row column lookup based on the level number, and yeah, you're right. It can be harder and therefore slower. So yeah. Oh, actually, Shtun maybe bomb walled onto the path. I think that's Zelda to the right. No, it's not. But he hears Ganon. Ganon is north. Can he bomb north?
Oh, Wizrubs say no.
Oh. Well, he's gonna head towards that part of the map.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got that information, you're going to start back from start. You're going to try to narrow down your options. Now he's got 6 hearts, red ring, white sword. Does have a potion. The Ganon fight's going to be a little dicier than our other runners, but still
Very
should
low
be.
health for this late of the season.
Yeah.
Actually, I just noticed he's on 6 hearts. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know where all the heart containers were.
Pretty much every dungeon had one. One had 2. We saw one in 5 and 7, and then the overworld.
9.
Yeah, there must have been 2 and 9. Yeah, I think we saw. I think we did see every other item.
I think I ended with 12 or 13, and I made a couple plays on the magical sword, which
I only
was
saw
probably
one
not
in
my
12.
greatest use of time.
Oh, I mean 10. I'm sorry. So, did you end up getting the magical sword? Were you able to?
Sword.
No.
That was also I went into 1 and I figured I tried it. I made my first play on it at 10, and then I figured I was going to get at least 1 heart container in 1 because there was nothing else really left to find. And I figured I got 2 hearts, and I made another play at 12, and I didn't get it, so I gave up.
Yeah, that's too bad you didn't get it. It hurts to go look for it and not get it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been having some trouble with the magical sword in these in this week 2 flag set. There was one practice seed I did the other night where basically the whole seed was combat blocked. The red ring was ladder blocked. The ladder was red ring blocked. So you had to do like a diagonal room with you had to do a diagonal room with 6 wizrobes.
That's hard.
Mags was 14 hearts, and there were 2 hearts and 9, so you couldn't even get the magical sword pretty much until after. It was a beast. This one was a lot easier than that.
That's always unfortunate. Like, they say red ring's never required, but there's some times where you're like, okay, yep, red ring's required. Stun's gonna found the compass, immediately knows where Ganon is now. So we're gonna have the Ganon fight, and Zelda's 1 room down. So this will be a very quick end here, hopefully.
Hopefully. Let's go, Stun.
Still have to be careful on 3 hearts.
He's doing his left corner and stab strategy, it looks like.
Try to avoid any PDA with Ganon.
Don't hug him.
I do believe he still has a potion left. I'd definitely be moving that to my B button right now, just out of safety, but you never want to die with a potion in your pocket.
No.
He's got the stun lock. He's got bacon.
GG.
And that is going to be our 7th and final place here for this qualifier. It was a small qualifier for a change. We've had some huge ones. This one's a little bit smaller with a time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 4 seconds. So get out your GGs for stun, and we'll see if we can get them in here for a quick chat. And so while we wait for stun, again, reminder, follow the runners. You put on a show. We're doing this 5 weeks plus brackets. You can go check out the Z1R Discord, where all of the randomizer information, tournaments, battle royales, SG live events, you name it, we've got it. And along with that, all the events going on here in Speed Gaming. Check out the schedule for following events. You've got the Speed Gaming Live going on. So much action going on in the Speed Gaming Network, family of networks. All right, with that, we have Stun here. How do you feel about that?
Oh, it was rough for me. It looks like it was a little better for everybody else.
Yes and no. It was a rough seed. So I guess the big question we do have to ask is kind of walk us through what happened. I know we saw what looked like you had a game crash or you kind of lost some progress.
Yeah, I don't think that ultimately cost me. I mean, it cost me a few minutes, but I'm playing on emulator, and I don't know. I guess my controller cord is finicky or something, and if I move it the wrong way or do something like that, it quits working. And the only way to get it back on is to just unplug it, plug it back in, but I have to reset the game. So I think that cost me a few minutes. Yeah,
it looked like it cost you. You had to go dig 8 again. It cost you a heart container that you picked up, just a little, but more than anything, it kind of probably causes some frustration and tilt at that point, I would imagine.
Absolutely. I was probably already on tilt. It seemed like I didn't even pick up my first key until I was probably 15-20 minutes into my run.
Or heart container. You finished that with 6 hearts. No, everyone else had at least, I want to say 10. At least on our featured runners.
I'm not sure what happened. I went to 3 first, and then I went to 1, and I tried to go to 6 and died. But it just seemed like everyone I ran into, I got the ladder pretty early, but I kept running into key issues, and then maybe I was out of bombs at the wrong time. So, but yeah, the game crashing kind of frustrated me. Luckily, 9 didn't take too long, I guess.
9 was one of those interesting ones where if you took the correct path, it was very quick. If you took the wrong path, you kind of went on a little adventure.
Yeah, I think I cleared probably half of it or so, but yeah, I wish I'd done a little better, especially on a day when there was less racers and that sort of thing, but what are you going to do?
Hey, you don't get many qualifiers where Unos doesn't show up in here and start trying to mess with everyone's time. So, but everyone's making it into the tournament. The qualifiers are all for seeding, so everyone's going to play in brackets that wants to. So it's more of trying to avoid Unos in the brackets than anything else.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I only started playing Randomizer maybe a month ago, and so yeah, if I make it 2 weeks into the brackets, I'll be thrilled. But yeah, I'm just having fun with it. So, and
it's great to see the new runners, such as yourself. I know Trails comes from the Z2 Randomizer community. It's great to see new runners in here performing well. I mean, both of you did an outstanding job with the seed. It threw quite a bit of funk at y'all. It's great to have y'all in here, and great to
It's always
see y'all.
disheartening when you start at 3 and I can't remember why I was blocked. I got 3 or 4 rooms into it, and then I go to 1, it's level 9, then I go to 6 and die before so I was 10 minutes before I even really saw a level. So anyway.
So with that, I do think that's going to kind of wrap up this qualifier again. Tomorrow's qualifier is on Randomania. I don't have the schedule in front of me. I want to say it's an evening race, and then the next one is here on Speed Gaming on Friday or Saturday. Sorry.
Is there another one tonight?
Tomorrow 10 p.m. Eastern is the next one.
Yeah, so tomorrow 10 p.m. on Randomania, and then Saturday, the early race is here on Speed Gaming. I believe the late race is also on Randomania. So while we're doing this, let's get final thoughts. Let's go around the table. Trails, final thoughts from
Nothing. Just thank you guys for doing the restream and the commentary, and it was fun, man. It was the first time or one of the first sub 60s, and the first time I ever got third place in a race and first on stream. So
congrats on all of that, by the way. Go watch it back. Your performance is fantastic in here. All 4 of y'all's performances were fantastic on stream. Stun, any final thoughts?
Thanks for hosting and doing all that y'all are doing. This is a ton of fun. So I hope to get better each week. I'll keep playing. And, yeah, I can't wait to go back and rewatch. So thanks for having me.
Thank you. Bombs, any final thoughts on your take here?
Yeah, echo the thanks to Speed Gaming for putting this on, commentators, trackers. I know a lot of behind the scenes effort goes into making these races happen on stream, and I'm glad I got to be a part of it this time. I'm probably going to take one more crack at this week too, but I am not entirely thrilled about how I'm doing this week. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night.
Definitely. So give all 4 of these runners here a follow. They put on an excellent show. Be doing it again, like I said, all through the next 4 weeks, plus the brackets. And Catastrophe, any final thoughts from your end? All right. Well, also don't forget to give my commentary partner here, Catastrophe, a follow. Outstanding Z1R runner. A lot of fun to work with. And again, thank you to Fry Teeth for tracking for us. So I think we're going to wrap it up here. I want to thank you all for joining us here on Speed Gaming, and we'll send you off to whatever's next.